Frozen's Let It Grow, a frozen guide to gardening. It includes step-by-step projects, experiments, fun facts, and more. From the Apple Valley Library. Frozen, Let It Go, Let It Grow, a frozen guide to gardening by Cynthia Sterlisle. Ooh, look at the table of contents. Letters to educators, number 5. What do plants need? On page 6. Pretty plants, 8. Snack time for Sven, 10. Putting down roots, 12. Moving around, page 14. Colorful magic, 16. Leaves of summer, 18. Out of the window, 20. Scattering seeds, 22. A brand new world, 24. Putting it all together, 26. Keep growing, 28. Glossary, 29. To learn more, 30. Index, 31. Letter to educators. Dear educators and caregivers, most children are natural scientists because science is all about curiosity, hands-on learning, and testing out ideas. Exactly what kids do as they learn. Take the time to look through this book with your students. Most of the activities are demonstrations that show how something works. Encourage your students to ask questions about the activities. What happens if you do something in a different way? As long as you approve, allow your students to test their ideas to see the results. Throughout, your students will be developing important science-related skills, such as identifying and classifying objects, following directions, and observing and recording data. They will also find out firsthand what plants are and what they need to grow. Here are a few more tips. Always supervise activities and offer to help when needed. Encourage your students to be patient. Plants take a long time to grow. Remind your students not to be upset if something doesn't go or grow as planned, because there is always something to learn. Why didn't something work? You can always try the activity again, but do one thing in a different way to see if you get a better result. After all, that's what scientists do. Most of all, remember to have fun. What do plants need? Olaf is a magical snowman because he's alive. Did you know that plants are alive too? Though plants can't walk around, they can grow and create new plants. To do that, they need energy from the sun and nutrients from the soil, air, and water. What happens if a plant doesn't get enough of those things? Try this activity to find out. Place each plant in a flower pot. 2. Create garden signs for each pot that says the following. Plant 1, water and sunlight. Plant 2, sunlight and no water. Plant 3, water and no sunlight. Plant 4, no water and no sunlight. 3. Cut out the garden signs, tape a craft stick to each garden sign, and insert one stick into each pot. 4. Follow the steps on each garden sign and compare the plants every week. What changes do you notice in each pot? What do you think? Why do some plants grow well in the sun but not in the shade? What would happen if a plant was watered with salt water instead of fresh water? Oh my goodness. Pretty plants. Olaf has feet for walking, eyes for seeing, and a mouth for talking. Each part of a plant does something special for that plant. Explore and learn about the parts of a typical plant by going on a scavenger hunt. Number 1, look at the plant diagram and think about the different parts of plants. 2, in your notebook, create a checklist of plant parts to look for on your scavenger hunt. Write down the items such as flowers, seeds, and roots. Use the plant diagram for help. Ooh, seeds are inside the tomato, and those grow into new plants. Leaves make food for the plant by using sunlight, air, and water. Fruit, protect and scatter the seeds. Flowers, attract pollinators. Stems, support the plant and move water and nutrients through it. Roots, hold the plant in the ground to take up water and minerals from the soil. Activity. Oh, did I finish? Number 3, with an adult, walk through your yard, a park, or even a garden center. Look for and check off the plant parts described on your list. Activity. Create a plant picture. Ooh, that's super exciting. I love that. Sort the pictures. How many different leaves, stems, flowers, seeds, and roots are there? Number 2, select some of the pictures to arrange and glue onto the heavy paper to make your own plant. Number 3, name your plant. Write labels for the plant parts. What do you think? What other words can you think of to describe the plant parts? How are the leaves alike? How are they different? What time of year is it? How would the plants look at a different time of the year? Oh, look how fun. Snack time for Sven. Sven is always trying to eat Olaf's nose. Who can blame him? Carrots are yummy. Did you know that the orange part of the carrot is a root? Many plants have parts that are good to eat. Some plant parts are also good for making prints. Plant parts you could use: roots and tubers, potatoes, sweet potatoes, carrots, flower buds like broccoli, stems and stalks like celery and asparagus, seeds and fruits like corn on the cob, string beans, apples, pears, leaves like romaine lettuce, cabbage, spinach, Brussels sprouts. Activity: plant prints. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. With an adult's help, cut large fruits or vegetables in half, blotting on a paper towel to dry. Step number 2, brush a thin layer of paint onto the plate. Dip the flat surface of the plant onto the paint, then press it into the heavy paper to make a print. Repeat the stamping with other plant parts and other colors to make pictures. What do you think? What other plant parts do you think Sven might like to eat? Which plant parts do you like to eat? Putting down roots. Most plants have roots that go into the soil where they take up water and minerals to stay alive. While the carrot's orange root grows down into the ground, its green stems and leaves grow up toward the sky. Try growing things up and down with these activities. That's pretty interesting, all right. This activity is called growing up. With an adult's help, trim both ends of a carrot, leaving about 1 inch of greens and 1 inch of carrot root. Number 2, set the carrot cut side down on the dish and place it in a bright window. Add water to cover about half of the remaining carrot root. Step 3, check out the carrot every day, adding water if needed. The carrot tops should begin to regrow within a week. Interesting. Activity: growing down. Ask an adult to cut open the avocado